Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. President Bola Tinubu was a resounding voice as he joined world leaders in search of common solutions to challenges confronting the world at the United Nations General Assembly high-level debate in New York. President Tinubu emphatically called for sincerity of purpose from member nations as he reaffirmed Nigeria's and Africa's readiness to contribute in healing the world. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab reports.
A quiet Tuesday morning in parts of New York City. But from this building were voices to the world, voices towards unity of purpose to improve the global system and for its inhabitants.
That freedom will finally prevail.
We need to bring the same commitment and urgency and ambition as we work together to meet the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030.
The solutions are peculiar as they come. And so too is this new, yet assertive voice.
On behalf of the people of Nigeria,
President Tinubu lends his voice against man's inhumanity to man and to the environment, leading to adverse effects from the universe manifesting in climate change. But while reaffirming the commitment of Nigeria and indeed Africa towards finding solutions to global challenges, Tinubu calls for sincerity of purpose in the crackdown on terror financing, economic sabotage, illicit mining, and arms smuggling in the developing world.
many proclamations have been made, yet our troubles remain close at hand. Failures in good governance have hindered Africa, but broken promises, unfair treatment, and outright exploitation from abroad have also exerted a heavy toll on our ability to progress. We are not asking for identical programs and actions. What we seek is an equal, firm commitment to partnership.
ECOWAS, under his chairmanship, has been up against unconstitutional takeover of governments in West Africa and on the continent. The Nigerian leader wants global support against political instability in Africa.
African nation will improve our economies so that our people do not risk their life to sweep the floors and streets of other nations. We also shall devote ourselves to disbanding extremist groups on our turf.
However, President Tinubu invites the world for a genuine business in Nigeria as he says efforts are on in policies to ensure a more conducive environment for businesses.
Welcome partnership with those who not mind seeing Nigeria and Africa assume larger roles in the global community. The question is not whether Nigeria is open for business. The question is how much of the world is truly open to doing business with Nigeria, and how African is an equal, mutually beneficial manner.
Other African leaders also speak on equity and fairness in matters concerning the continent.
The people of our continent are once again bearing the cost of industrialization of the North and the development of the wealthy nations of the world. This is a price that the people of Africa are no longer prepared to pay.
In New York, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, race to protect the planet has just been accelerated after world leaders, business giants and experts gathered in New York for the Climate Ambition Summit. For President Bola Tinubu, it is about building a political consensus that highlights remedial action for the Great Green Wall project. Charles Alpha reports.
Extreme weather events are displacing millions of people. The world is heating up. Wildfires continue to cause death and destruction. Coal, oil and gas still account for 75% of global greenhouse emissions, which continue to fuel the climate crisis. While the damage from the climate crisis is already extensive and global greenhouse gas emissions remain at record levels, the world is on a quest to keep global temperature down to within 1.5 degrees. Is that change possible? For President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the global fight against the effects of climate change cannot be based on a one-size-fits-all approach.
African nations will fight climate change, but must do so on fair and just terms. To achieve the need popular consensus, this campaign must accord with overall economic efforts.
He said nations must be cooperated within the design and implementation of their own strategies, which are tailored to their respective socio-economic strength and weakness.
In Nigeria, we shall build political consensus by highlighting remedial actions which also promote economic good. Projects such as Green Wall to stop desert encroachment, halting the destruction of our forests by mass production and distribution of gas burning stoves.
President Tinubu says such efforts regarding climate change will register important victories only if established economies were more forthcoming. Leaders here are resolute to accelerate action on climate change, and for the Nigerian president, it is no going back on the global fight to restore the ailing earth. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
And reports just reached us now states that the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Kano has nullified the election of Abba Kabir Yusuf as governor and declares Yusuf Gawuna as rightful winner. Now, for more on this report, let's now link up with our correspondent in Kano. Aminu, tell us more about this judgment.
Okay. The Elections Petition Tribunal today started its sitting since in the morning, and after all exhausting the statements, at the end they now announce or declare Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna as the rightful winner, as you said. They base all their judgment on the issues of voting, and then the violent disruption of electoral process, and then the issue of margin of lead. The other base is the issue of non-registration. The APC alleged that Abba Kabir Yusuf has not registered duly, is not a duly registered member of the NNPP. So on this basis, the election now is nullified and then declared the person that the petitioner and his party as winners of this election.
Okay, thank you very much, Aminu, for that update. Now, moving on, every child deserves a chance at a healthy and fulfilling life. As such, advocacy and awareness and prevention of tuberculosis remains a priority in Nigeria. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, said this while speaking on the margin of events organized by Concordia at the ongoing 78th United Nations General Assembly in New York. A statement by her Special Assistant on Media, Busola Kukoyi, indicates that the First Lady spoke at two separate sessions on importance of innovation towards achieving an AIDS-free generation and health standards and investment towards effectively financing the eradication of tuberculosis. To scale down the number in both tuberculosis and AIDS among children, the First Lady says advocacy, especially at the national, state and community levels, would be pursued vigorously as Nigeria has no reason to have high statistics of prevalence in both areas. Senator Oluremi Tinubu emphasized that with the heightened drive of the President Tinubu's administration in the health sector, she will be advocating enhanced actions by the wives of governors from the states of the Federation to take the campaign about awareness and prevention to the grassroots, while rooting for adoption of more innovative approaches, including the deployment of educational apps and digital platforms to disseminate accurate information specific to HIV care and control. The First Lady also highlighted the use of creative and culturally tailored age-appropriate interventions that can promote and amplify safer sexual and reproductive practices. The First Lady also seized the opportunity to highlight the commitment of the Bola Tinubu administration towards restructuring the health system in the country in line with the renewed hope agenda through improved financing, provision of modern equipment for diagnosis, capacity building, training of healthcare workers, and transparency in governance as it regards TB response and healthcare delivery as a whole. More details on this will be brought to you subsequently. And the federal government is resolute on its mandate to advance science laboratory technology in Nigeria. The recent upgraded laboratory at Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology, Ibadan, is another step in that direction, which is expected to be of huge benefits to Nigerians in the areas of adequate laboratory testing. Ayomiku Ajibola is set to feed us in on the importance of science laboratory technology and activities at the upgraded laboratory with state-of-the-art equipment at the Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology in Ibadan. After this backgrounder.
Serving as an agency to secure, safeguard, and advance the professional knowledge, efficiency, and interest of science laboratory technologists through the Council. Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology recently upgraded its laboratory equipment to modern level multipurpose science laboratory, MPSL2. This laboratory, experts say, will accommodate molecular, biotechnology, and chemistry facilities for food, soil, water, air, oil, and gas testing.
The laboratory is divided into two, microbiology and chemistry. Under laboratory microbiology services, we have a DNA section. Of course, we have microbiology also. Here, we have virtual of the equipment required for you to carry out your analysis.
The project will also accelerate the impact of science laboratory technology on Nigerians in the area of job creation, agriculture, educational, and industrial support through laboratory testing entrepreneur. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Now, Ayomiku, if you can hear me, what more can you tell us about this upgraded laboratory and what stands it out?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ifoma. With the vision of the Nigerian Institute for Science and Laboratory Technology to contribute towards the rapid development to the nation through project of science and laboratory technology, and this institute here in Samoda, Ibadan, upgraded its laboratory equipment to modern level multipurpose science laboratory technology. This probably might be the first of its kind or the second in the country. With me to talk more on this is the Director General of the Institute, Yemi Badigeshi. Sir, why this upgrade and what benefit is it to Nigerians?
Well, first of all, I would like to speak on the establishment of the Institute. The Institute was established with the enactment of law by the Parliament with Act 12 of 2003. Since then, we have multipurpose science laboratory of level 2. In 2019 to 2022, there was a series of outbreaks in Nigeria. We have tomato Ebola, the Institute couldn't contribute. We have COVID-19, the Institute couldn't contribute. So we sat down and we said this laboratory should be upgraded from level 1 to BSL2, and this is the first of its kind in Ibadan and of course in Southwest. And the first of its kind under the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Basically, the facility is going to assist our students who are still learning from various universities in Nigeria. And of course, those people that are already working, we are going to have in-house training on the hands-on training of this modern equipment. Notably, in the area of agriculture, we discovered that we're supposed to be testing some of our products right there on the field. We did not have. And I want to assure Nigerians presently now that we have what we call aflatoxin B rapid test kit that we can use to test our green produce for aflatoxin that's been produced by mycological agents. And also in the area of medicine, that is area of health. Like I told you, we have a lot of pathogenic microorganisms that we could not handle that time. And I want to assure the Nigerian that we now have BSL2, where we can comfortably do our analysis there without infecting people within the environment and, of course, the entire populace in Ibadan. And, of course, in the area of DPR, as you all agree with me, that some years ago, last year precisely, there was contamination of fuel with methanol. The institute couldn't render assistance. And this time around now, the institute is ready to render our assistance in that regard. And of course, in the area of DNA detection, we've already upgraded our facility, whereby we can analyze and also do a kind of sequencing in the area of DNA. And of course, we can also render assistance in the area of paternity testing. And all our laboratorians here have been exposed to this new trend in ensuring that we have positive, accurate, and reliable and reproducible results.
All right, quickly, sir. How affordable and accessible is this place to Nigerians?
Well, it's very, very affordable. All roads from all parts of the country leads to Ibadan City.
All right, Informa, that has been the Director General of the Institute telling us how relevant this place is to Nigerians.
Thank you very much indeed, Ayobiku. We are glad to know that the laboratory is affordable. And that will be all for now. Thank you so much. Now, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, says the creation of additional standing committees in the Green Chamber is to expand the scope for better oversight functions by lawmakers in federal ministries, departments, and agencies of government in line with modern-day realities. At an interactive session with the National Assembly correspondents, Speaker Abbas clarified that the increasing number of outstanding committees from 109 in the 9th Assembly to more than 130 in the 10th Assembly is not to reward lawmakers, but to close deficiencies and ensure value addition in the oversight functions of the House.
This time around, we want to ensure that every standing committee lives to its responsibility. Every standing committee must be seen working for the betterment of our Nigerian people. Every standing committee must stand to the ethics of our own assembly. We don't want to see things picked on under the table. We want transparency. We want result-oriented administration, and that is the reason why we decided that this time around there should be a standing committee that will be there monitoring what is happening in other standing committees.
The issue of committees, holding their briefing or investigative hearing in closed session, and then when you say it's an investigation or a probe, we expect a scenario whereby it's it's an open investigation rather than holding it in secrecy or behind closed doors. But we are hopeful that this meeting and interaction with the Speaker will definitely give us a way forward.
The Speaker pledged to work in collaboration with the media in implementing the legislative agenda of the House and deepening the nation's democracy. Members of the All Progressives Congress in Oyo State have been advised to be more united, focused, and avoid fractions within the party to scale up fortune of the APC in future elections in the state. National Chairman of the party, Abdullahi Ganduje, gave the advice during a courtesy visit to the state party executive and members at APC Secretariat, Ibadan. Wasiu Rauf has details.
Progressives Congress APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, who was in Ibadan for one-day official engagement, used the occasion to interact with the state party executives and members on the need to be more committed and dedicated to the party. He therefore urged them to key into the party's newly introduced programs to keep the party alive to its responsibilities, which includes electronics registration of members, functional party offices across the country, and competition among state chapters with presidential awards as well as other awards.
There should be frequent meetings in our office so that you engage in yourself in the recruitment of new members into the party.
Earlier, the state party chairman Isaac Omodiwu noted that APC members' commitment to the party resonated in the sources recorded in the last general elections, hence the need for more than one ministerial slot to keep the flag of the party flying in the state.
We need your help, we need your support to let everybody know that this state belongs to APC.
The visit to Oyo State APC Secretariat will be the first since the inauguration as the party national chairman in Ibadan. Wasiu of NTA News.
Okay, we now go back to Kano, where Aminu is standing by to give us more updates as he feels the pulse of Kano residents on the tribunal judgment. Now, Aminu, tell us, what is the mood in Kano, about this judgment?
Yes. Okay. Yes, actually now Kano is peaceful. It's only that we are seeing visibility policing. Police are going around patrolling the streets and roads in Kano. As we understand, Kano is peaceful. Nothing is happening. It's only that people have issue of panic. But police are going around telling them to calm down. As of now, nothing is happening, and our reports from other people, our discussions, we got to understand that nothing is happening in Kano, and Kano is peaceful, is calm.
Okay. Now, have you been able to talk to any of residents in Kano? What does this mean to the people of the state?
Yes. For us, as we can see, and from the utterances of others, before this time, there was serious issues of making some unguarded utterances, but people remain indifferent about it, and the governor himself decided to swiftly react to that by relieving the person that made that statement, relieving him of his appointment. So since then, there is nothing that is happening, and people are going about their normal activities, and some other people that are passing by told us that they were coming from the other places in the city, and the city is calm. It's only that some people are so apprehensive and telling people that something is happening, but nothing is happening. So the views of the people, we know they are divided. Some are pro and some are against. But despite the fact that they are all against or pro, they understand each other, and as of now, nothing is happening.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Aminu, it's good to know that Kano is peaceful, and we do hope that you keep us up to speed as events unfold.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. We will continue to monitor the situation in Kano, and we hope it will continue to be peaceful.
Thank you very much, Aminu. Now, the National Legal Advisor of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Abdul Karim Khana, says the party will continue to provide platforms for unhindered participation of all members in its commitment to deepen democratic norms and values. The National Legal Advisor was speaking when he received an elder statesman and chieftain of the party, Malam Abdul Karim Muhammad Abdullahi, and different groups on the platform of the APC under his watch.
The Tinubu movement may appear to have started a long time ago, but I can assure you it's just starting. And from what I heard from you, it's definite that it is just starting. There's a lot more we're going to see of the Tinubu movement. And the only thing I will tell you is that I will urge you to continue and be patient. Everybody will have his time. Everybody will have his turn.
we know the passion, we know the zeal, we know the role we've been playing in Nasarawa State, even as the Commissioner of Justice. We continue to appreciate you, we continue to thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm just telling you to know that some of us have passion for our country. We have passion for humanity. And that is why I'm proud of this appointment. Like I keep telling my family, I'm here because I don't want my grandchildren. Because for my children, they are grown up enough to know right and wrong. But I don't want my grandchildren to be victims of circumstances.
Abdul Karim, who was one-time zonal director of NTA Kaduna Network Center and chairman of Nasarawa State University Basic Education Board, says that the Tinubu presidency requires is the understanding and support of every Nigerian to achieve its dream of moving Nigeria from where it is to where it would want to be. It's now time to go over to our Lagos Network Center for trending stories from that zone, and Michael is our guide. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Ifoma. The government of the United States of America has enjoined Nigeria to achieve a stable naira, root out corruption, protect the integrity of Nigeria's financial system, and articulate a fiscal strategy that will release resources for investments into critical sectors of the Nigerian economy. These were identified as 4 economic reform priorities for Nigeria by the U.S. Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, Mr. Wale Adeyemo, in an address delivered at the Lagos Business School.
Speaking on the 4 reform priorities, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, Wale Adeyemo, said Nigeria needs a stable naira, noting that unifying Nigeria's foreign exchange rates will create microeconomic stability that is essential to attracting foreign investment. He further explained that creating economic opportunities will require government-driven efforts that addresses investors' fears.
The government needs to articulate and implement a credible fiscal strategy that will provide the resources to make critical investments. I recognize the decision to end fuel subsidies is hard for many Nigerian households, but it was an important early step to create resources the government can use to invest in fiscal and digital infrastructure, education, and a strong small business environment.
The Vice-Chancellor of the Pan-Atlantic University, Lagos, and other speakers agreed that Wale Adeyemo's visit will further enhance trade between the United States and Nigeria.
Once we are confident that any gains that we make will be managed well, that there is integrity in the execution and in implementation of whatever gains come out of this reform.
There is some support to say that the right decisions have already been made to ensure that there is structural reform. So, dealing with the issues around subsidy.
The Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Treasury also affirms that President Joe Biden's administration is committed to a strong U.S.-Nigeria relationship that is built on shared values and mutual benefits. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The federal government is at the forefront of crafting forward policies and executing economic diplomacy to advance strategic interests of Nigeria with the aim of making it economically viable. This is evident in the body language of President Bola Tinubu as he pursues aggressively on his economic development diplomatic drive to attract foreign direct investment into the country. Adiola Komiakewi completes the report.
The diplomatic alliances embarked upon by the Tinubu administration have been commended by Nigerians and economic experts, as they say it is expected to attract foreign direct investments to the country, which will in turn boost the nation's economy.
Oil has been the mainstay of our national economy and international trade as well, but you have burgeoning industries.
President Tinubu's visits to India, the UAE, Germany, France, and South Korea, as well as that of Vice President Kashim Shettima, are among efforts at advancing economic development diplomatic drive by expanding Nigeria's frontiers in digital economy and energy while leveraging innovation.
All that is required to take us away from
this dependence on crude oil as the source of 90% of our earnings are part of what we need to have at the back of our minds, even as we are negotiating businesses and encouraging other people out there to come into our economy.
With the president having a clear direction in all of these international commitments, it is expected that the benefits will materialize in form of job creation, boost local production, and accelerate economic growth.
So in terms of leveraging, what we can leverage on is the technological advantage that other countries have ahead of us. So let us work with them as partners in progress so that we can build on this industry and begin to build a sustainable economy.
And to do that, we have to be productive. We must have power, electricity, to be able to run our factories.
Public analysts are optimistic that President Tinubu's economic diplomacy model will speed up economic recovery for the country. Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Be reminded that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. The news continues after this break with Obey in Benin.
Thanks for staying with the NTA and welcome to Benin. The Edo State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says the synergy between the agency and the Edo State government has led to the seizure of over 300 kilograms of cannabis sativa and other substances in the state. This was at the parade of 16 suspects by the NDLEA in the state. Good luck, Enaini reports.
Parading the suspects, the NDLEA Edo State Command says the state government's synergy with the agency led to the arrest of 16 suspects, who include 4 females, in Igara, Benin City, the Edo State capital, and Okpochi.
That's the car that was just arrested, this Toyota Camry, loaded with cannabis sativa, about going to supply. We will continue to mob up all the black spots. And I want to send this message to the drug baron all over. There's no hiding place for anybody.
Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, who was represented, says the state government is happy with the development and assured the agency of more support and collaboration.
Beyond the criminality, dealing with those who supply these things, we can do a lot more to ensure that our young ones do not go these paths. Drug is destructive. NDLEA and your team, on behalf of his governor, I want to thank you for what you've done. Thank you to the team. And I hope you do more, and I hope you help us clean up society like you're doing.
Some of the suspects narrate their level of involvement in the alleged crime.
It's not quite long I started this business. Prior for the said drink our drugs. For me, a farmer. I said this drug to feed myself.
The suspect will soon appear in court as soon as investigations are concluded. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Positive change of mindset through the inculcation of right values and implementation of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy has been identified as one of the ways to stem the tide of corruption in Nigeria. This was the fallout of a one-day workshop on behavioral change by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. Elizabeth Omoko has the report.
There are many adverse effects of corruption on both the public and private sectors due to loss of values of yesteryears. These stakeholders are gathered in this hall to brainstorm on ways to restore and sanitize the system.
It's hoped that today's dialogue will enable the stakeholders to have a focus in way forward towards implementation and influencing our group, communities, ministries, development and agencies to yield a positive result.
If those at the top leadership positions are able to discipline themselves, I believe that this corruption at the lower level will be eliminated with due time.
Talking about moral behavioral change here
will not drive home this message. We have to take it back to the grassroots.
Proof of evidence and enforcement of law and order approach alone, Kano speakers say, are not enough to get rid of the menace of corruption in the society.
The first step is to personally decide to be a person of integrity and a community advocate for integrity. Then we must decide to be involved in monitoring projects.
When society punishes those who violate our cherished values by isolating them, naming them or shaming them, others learn and also take dressing.
With the present realities facing the nation, one key takeaway from this meeting is that if behavioral change is not applied, the desired change needed for development of a society may be difficult to achieve. In Benin, Elizabeth Omoko, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Ifoma in Abuja.
Thank you very much. Now, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF George Akume, has urged media organizations to be objective while critiquing government policies and programs. The SGF was speaking when he received a delegation of the Sun newspaper publishing company in his office. The SGF pointed to some economic policies of the present administration aimed at restructuring the business environment to make it investment-friendly, of which the media is at liberty to interrogate.
What you write can make or tear our country. You have a heavy responsibility. Actually, every responsibility is, once it becomes heavy, is also controlled. No country can be great without the support of the press. And once we are great, every citizen becomes a beneficiary. When Dangote's refinery comes on stream, he said now in October, it's going to be a great relief. And by the time Port Harcourt, the others are on stream, it'll be a big relief. And money has been sent to states and to other manufacturers of vehicles so that CNG and electric vehicles would be in operation in large numbers in this country.
He reiterated the critical role being played by the media in deepening democracy and the need for all hands to be on deck. Meanwhile, the delegation from the Sun newspaper was at the SGF's office to present to him a copy of a compendium on the historical activities of Nigeria from the colonial era, for which an approval to embark on the publication was secured from the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation in 2020. The upscaling of Nigeria's education curricula, fostering of qualitative research to inform policy formulation, and the enhancement of quality and accessible education in the country are just a few of the benefits of the Memorandum of Understanding signed between Nigeria and some partners, the Princeton University, USA, and the Africa School of Economics in Princeton, United States. Cecily Belle reports from New Jersey, where the signing took place.
Before signing the dotted lines, Nigeria's Minister of Education, Tahiru Maman, who expressed confidence in the current administration's plan to increase Nigeria's educational allocation from 5% to 25% of the national budget, says the coming years will witness a series of well-thought-out projects for the education sector. These, he says, will include developing and equipping research and data centers nationwide, review of current education curricula, upscaling of out-of-school individuals at the African School of Economic campuses, and the development of performance indicators and outcomes for monitoring at all levels of education in the country.
Now, you will agree that these projects have been assembled to address the multiple facets of the education system and indeed social and economic problems amongst the youth.
Vice Provost for International Affairs and Operations, Princeton University, Ali Kassam Ramtula, expressed the institution's commitment to the partnership while recognizing its immense potential for Nigeria. Sealing the collaboration between partners ended the formalities, but it opens a new chapter for institutions of higher learning in Nigeria. Midwifing this partnership is the African Union Development Agency New Partnership for Africa's Development, NEPAD.
So looking at what we've done in NEPAD, and that's why we're approaching that facilitating this would be a very good boost to his great vision in ensuring quality education. And again, do not forget that this is going to give room for vocational studies.
There will also be staff exchanges will be one of them, but we are also going to set up training centers in Nigeria, for out-of-school children.
Research. We want to provide technical advice, technical expertise to government at the state, local, and federal level.
The execution of this agreement takes immediate effect from Princeton University, New Jersey, to Still Egbele, NTA News.
Civil servants in Jigawa State have continued to enjoy seamless access to their retirement benefits without any hindrance, thanks to the pension administration in the state. This year alone, payments were made in 3 batches to more than 700 retirees, including death benefits to the deceased next of kin. Awal Muhammad Kazawari reports on one of such efforts by the Jigawa State Pension House.
The payments are for civil servants that retired at the state, local government and local education authority. Given breakdown, Secretary of the scheme, Kamilu Aliyu Musa, said 179 state retired civil servants will be paid over 575 million naira, while 112 local government retired staff will be paid over 210 million naira, and 455 local government education authority retired staff will be paid 1.2 billion naira.
Total beneficiaries under 3 units for this payment, 746 beneficiaries, and the amount is 2,024,772,779 naira 47 kobo. This is the total amount that we are going to pay in this payment.
Kamilu Aliyu Musa commended the Jigawa State government for constituting a committee which has submitted its findings on how best to improve on the pension scheme. He also advised beneficiaries to make good use of their terminal benefit, which is their lifetime savings. Awal Muhammad Kazaure, NTA News.
Let's now join Shehu Muhammad Lati to throw more light on the initiative and its impact on the well-being of retirees in the States. Over to you, Shehu.
All right, thank you so much. Very good afternoon. We are right now at the pension house here in Dusi, the Jigawa State capital. This is where the state government provides seamless access to retirement benefit to all the retired civil servants that cut across the state, the local government, and the local government education authority, and the payment of next of kin and the payment to death benefits to next of kin, all in the sector. This year alone, more than 700 beneficiaries were given their money, and more than 20 billion naira was expended on that payment. I have with me here the executive secretary of the French 2 billion naira anyway. I have with me here the executive secretary who will shed more light on what the process is all about. Sir, can you now expatiate to our viewers what the process you embark on to pay all this category of people?
Okay. Hello, listeners. In fact, the Jigawa State government has so far paid the total sum of over 2 billion and 24 million for the terminal benefit across the 3 units. That is the state, local government, and local government education authorities. These 3 units, each and every amount comprise of the retirement benefit, death benefit, death pension balance, and refund of 8%. The total amount we so far paid for state government is more than 575 million for the total number of 112 beneficiaries across the unit. That is the death and the retirement benefit. For local government, we have so far paid in this year 210 million for about 112 beneficiaries. While for local government education authorities, we fed 1,238 million for about for total number of 455. That's the total payment we have so far paid.
Now, can you tell our viewer what is the rationale behind all these successes you've recorded in the payment?
Alhamdulillah, the success is the political will. In fact, we have all support from the government. As I'm talking to you now, we have so far even something that is new, which is not peculiar to each and every state. We have even for today, we have fed the total of a pension for the month of September, since on 10th of this month. So, no backlog. Retirement benefit, pension, and other benefits we have so far fed. And the government is always willing, they are contributing fully when it is when due. So we don't have any problem with regard to contributions. We are receiving it as at when due. So we so far we are very happy. I think there is nothing so far any hints.
Now one more question. Having made in 3 batches, do you have any outstanding? Do you have any outstanding payment with this year?
Okay, for Jigawa, it is a continuous process. We don't have any data. It's only that the pilots that are coming in day and day. That's normal working days. For now, I think I have some files with me, which was brought here yesterday. So that's the only files, but no any liabilities so far for Jigawa State.
Thank you so much, Executive Secretary. That's how far we can go from the. We now call for a commercial break, the second commercial break. When we return, the news continue in our studios.
To Port Harcourt, the maritime sector has been identified as viable for human capital development and should be harnessed by the government, especially in grassroots development. Chairman Governing Council of Chakin Maritime Academy, King Alfred Jetespif, gave the advice at the first passing out parade and convocation of award of national diploma and prizes to 29 graduates of the institution. Joy Uzo has status.
Nautical science and marine engineering is being embraced by stakeholders in River State as a way to create jobs and curb youth restiveness, catching them young to fill the gap in the sector through the position of requisite skill and knowledge is a motivation for this initiative expected to help sustain the maritime sector of the oil and gas industry. Administrators of Chakin Maritime Academy, established in 2016, say the institution is standing tall to meet the human capital development need in the Niger Delta region. Chairman Governing Council King Alfred Jetespif and proprietor Chakin Maritime Academy Dr. Charles Wami say the achievement is a dream come true that will birth greater glory for benefit of the region.
But this is the first of the series, and we're looking forward to every local government sponsoring 1 or 2 cadets, 1 engineer, 1 marine cadet. Then they make it as an investment every year. They will not regret it.
Well, I feel so happy because this is a dream that I have been thinking about for many years. And here today, I'm producing cadets that work on the ship. So it's a great thing of joy.
Wherever they are going, they should be good ambassadors of the academy.
These latest merchant Navy cadets are predominantly sponsored by 3 local government councils in River State. Highlight was presentation of national diploma certificates to the new merchant Navy cadets and prizes to best graduating students.
My chairman has done a lot for us for sponsoring 15 cadets from Andoni Local Government Council. So this program is a visionary, it's one who has vision. He was not looking at just wasting money, he's looking at human capacity development.
In Port Harcourt, Joy Uzo, NTA News.
And that's it on Nationwide today. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.